Indeed. I mean, this game has so much on the line for Steel Army and FSD Azul. For Steel Army, you're looking at this, and I think if you sweep Frontera SD Azul, I do believe you are number one. Any other stuff, and I think the numbers would be uh, the same as Rebellion, but they have a chance to go above Rebellion here, and Frontera SD Azul have a chance to go above Steel Army. I think maybe. Where are the standings?
Well, there you go. Perfect timing. So Frontera Azul are still a bit of a ways away. I mean, they're at
Yeah.
13 points. But if they win, they will be 3 points behind EC Defiance, who with that victory are now 5 points away from the top. This is an insane result for them. They are definitely in the title race now. Steel Army, if they win, will go back to the top. So, chat, the championship has gotten a whole lot more interesting with that huge win for EC Defiance.
Oh, indeed. And EC Defiance, they're gonna be looking to jump. I'm really excited to watch them for the rest of this season. They are a fun team to watch, and they're cool guys. So there's always that too.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Now, with what we've seen, Andrea, let's talk a bit more about that previous matchup whilst we wait for this next match's lobby to come up. ECD looked absolutely spectacular. I mean, Luis in chat, by the way, Luis, good to see you. Nelly, you too. Spanky, Bird, Green, Wild Bear Moto, Nelly, I think I already mentioned him. Utopia, aka I Hope Ojo Bob. Good to see all y'all in the chat. I mean, let's just talk about how much Bisbo has stepped up here, because he took this team to a whole other level.
Yeah, he was wonderful in that game. I can't remember if it was him. I think it was him with the beautiful, like, off the ceiling shot. And that was a really impactful play. He's had great shots. He's had great passing plays. He's rotating well. I mean, everybody's rotating well on ECD right now, but he's been an impact maker for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. And I think they did a great job with the setup that they had. Their rotations were near perfect. They had a bit more of a conservative setup, which they got punished for in Game 3, but in Game 4, you started to see them kind of crank up the pressure, and the Rebellion just had no answer.
Absolutely. I mean, I think maybe sitting back was working for them against Rebellion, especially without shorts to make some of, the best plays we've seen in Championship this year. Maybe you do sit back a little bit because, it's a team that plays well still, and you want to be able to defend their shots, but on the counter, they didn't really have an answer for it. They were sort of caught out a lot in that last game.
Yeah, in particular, Gogan, he basically exhausted his boost and got caught off guard as the third man consistently. It's funny, we talked about Defiance potentially getting sucked in like earlier, but they did a great job of keeping themselves disciplined. The Rebellion were anything but disciplined in that Game 4. And they got punished for that. And that's the thing. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how good a team you're facing. If the opposition start making mistakes, you can absolutely punish them.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's exactly what you saw there. I mean, Rebellion they didn't have shorts to sort of finish things off. And so they're caught forward with a ball just languishing there on EC Defiance's half. And EC Defiance can just push that up with all of Rebellion's players on the other side of the field. They just can't do anything.
I'm going to have to interrupt this conversation, but do you want to join the lobby, Andrea?
Oh, yes.
Because both teams are ready to go, chat. We're just going to kick off very, very soon. And then we'll be diving right in to Steel Army versus Frontera Azul. Second versus fourth. And if Steel Army win, they'll be going up to first. By the way, Tank Pillow, good to see you in chat right there. All right, we are ready to go now. Let's get started.
We do have quite a few SGL folks in the chat, yes. Green Mario giving hearts to his own team there. But we're gonna shift gears. Steel Army versus Frontera SD Azul. I mean, here we go.
Absolutely, here we go. Game 1 kicking off between Steel Army and Frontera Azul.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna see a good game here tonight. I don't think either of these teams are. I mean, I can't say for sure, but I don't think either of these teams are gonna dominate the other. They're both teams sort of still towards the top there. I mean, Azul has had some tough losses lately, but they've been good all season.
Oh, they have been, and they've been getting better and better recently as well. But right now, they have to contend with a strong Steel Army side, who, by the way, are not starting Debit. They're starting Bear Blitz, Raisin Boy, and Red 4. And meanwhile, Frontera are starting off with the strongest trio, Aquatic, K-Doughboy, and the Divine Waffle.
I mean, a bad omen after that game. Are we seeing another team that doesn't have their star player, or are we just seeing them deciding not to start Debit? And that's going to be a real question tonight.
Well, I'd say Steel Army do like to rotate. I'd be surprised if Debit wasn't available. But if he's not, then you know what? This is a great chance for Frontera to get a second upset tonight.
This is pretty late night SGL. It could be very possible, but we are going to have to see, as we are having a pretty even game so far. I haven't really seen much in the way of an edge from anybody. If anything, I think FSD Azul has gotten a little bit more pressure on. But that's nice from Raisin Boy, as he beautiful little rebound off the wall that just comes out of nowhere. FSD Azul putting the pressure on, but what do you do against that?
Oh man, that is an unfortunate moment. It's touch down the middle to Raisin Boy. No one back there to cover the net, and all he had to do was put it in. And he does so, and Steel Army lead 1-0, despite Frontera having the strong start.
Yeah, they had a really strong start, and I guess sort of the downside of that pressure is the overcommit there on that goal.
Another awkward moment right there for Frontera. KJ's loose touch threw the Divine Waffle off guard. And now, Bear Blitz trying to get a double off the corner, just the bounce didn't work out for him. Red 4 takes it to the opposite end. Is he going back for this? He fakes. Razor Boy gets the demo despite trying to go for the ball. And right now, Frontera are on the back foot.
Absolutely. I mean, after that goal, Steel Army are just looking the better part of it. And, yeah, they're causing trouble. They're keeping the pressure on, and they've grown into this game pretty quickly. After those tough moments at the very beginning from FSD Azul.
And that is what makes Steel Army so difficult to deal with. When they get that first goal, they start to get into the flow, and they're so difficult to deal with. Frontera Azul basically stuck in front of their net, but they're rooted on the pitch, not really able to get going. It's like they're playing on mud whilst, Steel Army are playing on grass. And so
that was better from them there. Sorry.
No, go on.
That was better for them there, but, it ends so quickly. I mean, the flow is extending to defense as well from Steel Army here, as just the quick 50 easy clearance from what looked like a great shot from Dr. Aquatic.
And you know what? They should keep their heads held high up. They're still playing fine. Just got to clean up. And you know what? Still a long match, Andrea. I mean, they could drop game one, but they could come back still. And right now, this is a good setup for them. Ball just floating in front of the goal. And Raisin Boy gets it out.
That was wonderful from Raisin Boy. I mean, he sort of like a tight aerial on the wall to make a save.
Okay, they go to the demo! And leaves Dr. Aquatic and get the powerful shot off the corner. Steel Army surprisingly very passive throughout that moment. And Frontera Azul get one goal back with 90 seconds remaining.
That's wonderful individual play from Dr. Aquatic. He puts in a powerful cross and just finishes it off, and Steel Army just not in the right place. Bear Blitz 3-1 puts it right back where it was on kickoff. Unfortunate for FSD Azul here.
69 miles per hour, 111 kilometers per hour. That is definitely a nice shot from Bear Blitz, who brings the lead back to 2 goals for Steel Army.
And that's gotta hurt. I mean, they finally find their flow, and then just kickoff stuff. Some teams, some players are just clutch on kickoff, and Bear Blitz had a really good shot, and he took it.
But right now, it looks like Dr. Aquatic and Core still keeping their heads held up high. Good passing play right there. Divine Waffle with a fake. Raisin Boy having to deal with that. And he does just enough to get it out of the way. But a good job by KJ to keep the pressure going before Bear Blitz clears it out.
I thought Divine had a shot there, but instead he goes for the pass, and it gets cleared out.
Oh, speaking of pass, great pass. Redford just a bit too late. Raisin Boy following it up. Redford tapping it in. And Divine Waffle finally gets it out with 30 seconds remaining. Frontera still have the chance to get a goal back, but the time is running out for them, and the ball being in the orange half is not in their favor.
Yeah, they gotta go. They need to score about now if they want to win this.
We enter the final 10 seconds. Oh my goodness, the Divine Waffle had the chance to get a shot off. He misses. Bear Blitz solo dribble to the midfield. Aquatic can now take over in the air, but if the ball is loose, Redford going up for a challenge, and Chat and Andrea Steel Army do just enough to win game 1, 3-1.
Indeed, and it really did feel like a pretty even game until that last Steel Army goal. After that, things just sort of shut down for FST Azul, and we're going to see if maybe they make some substitutions, maybe they stick with it, and they just say, we play our game, that game was so close, let's just run it back.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if, well, I think with Frontera Azul, first and foremost, their sub is Kima, and on paper, he is the weakest player. By some margin, too, so I'm not sure if they'll want to bring him in against a strong side like Steel Army right here. But it all depends on how they feel. Both teams do like to rotate when the opportunity arises, and I would not be surprised if Steel Army rotates, as they always do.
I mean, not to glaze my teammates, but did you see a Difo a couple nights ago? On paper, the lowest ranked player here doesn't mean that much all the time. So we could see Kima do some great stuff.
Oh, you're absolutely correct. Yeah, no, for sure. And you know what? We might see Kima make an appearance in Game 3, or even right now in Game 2. We shall see.
Yeah, and it looks like we have Debit in the lobby here. So it looks like Steel Army will make a substitution.
No surprises right there. I would not be surprised as well if in Game 3 they change their combination once again. But chat, here we go. Steel Army won Game 1. Game 2, though, can still go either way. Frontera Azul can still come back. Easy Defiance have shown that the top teams can be upset. So for them, they got to be inspired no matter what.
Oh, absolutely. And I think FST Azul is going to look at that close game and think, well, we can do something here. I think Steel Army, they're just going to stick with it. And with Debit, I think they might do better here. I mean, all their players are good. Great, actually. But I think Debit is definitely a star of theirs, as Divine is going to try to start up the scoring. It's still in an awkward place. Divine going to keep it in an awkward place.
Divine Waffle gets the lead! And they've certainly not slumped their shoulders, because Andrea, they take the initiative in Game 2.
That was perfectly executed. I think I've done that shot in a training pack one time. Yeah, that was, I mean, like, behind himself, that's free play stuff. But he's going to start things out, and this is looking really good from them.
And it was Divine Waffle who basically made that goal on his own. Getting the ball from the right side, forcing Debit to make a bit of an awkward save, and then a double commit from Raisin and Bear Blitz to try and pitch the ball out. Resulted in an opening. And speaking of openings, Devin didn't need that much to snipe the ball into the back of the net. 60 miles per hour, 96 kilometers per hour off of the side wall. Bear Blitz was there for insurance. Divine Waffle couldn't make it back. And just like that, Steel Army is back. What a piece.
Yeah, after such a nice shot from Divine Waffle, I mean, Debit just hits them with the freaky aerial jiu-jitsu, and it's tied right back up. Bear Blitz gonna put the dagger in. 2-1, and a great start from FSD Azul just turns into the more of the same.
We saw a 69 mile per hour shot in game 1. This time it's a 74 mile per hour shot, 119 kilometer per hour shot off of Alan's BangersOnly.com radar gun, which is absolutely fast, flashing red off of that insanely powerful shot from Bear Blitz. And Steel Army, just like that, they don't need much to get back, and they're already in the lead.
Yeah, I mean, they're right back where they left off. I mean, FSD Azul in the first game, they looked really strong at the beginning, and then everything just sort of crumbles, and we're seeing it again here, and maybe the response is different. We'll have to wait and see.
There's still a lot of time left. 3 minutes is a long way to go, and it's only a 1-goal difference so far between these two sides. Frontera have done a good job of bringing the ball into the blue half, but the Steel Army side starting to grow into the game. Bit of a passing play right there. Loose ball, way too much time. Raisin Boy, though, still couldn't do much, but the ball's still in the orange half. Debit tries to get a touch, but Divine Waffle does just enough to clear it out.
Bear Blitz trying to put something nasty on it, but, I mean, there's just nothing there for him, and it looks like the attack is on for FSD Azul here, though, but nobody in the vicinity.
Well, they got stuck in front of their net, Andrea, and that is what makes it so difficult to play against Steel Army. They put so much pressure on you that when you do finally try to get out, Steel Army are already back there by the time you enter their half.
Yeah. And they were out, and it could have been a really nice attack, but they just can't get in position to attack quick enough, and so they have a wonderful ball in, and just no one there. Debit just sort of easily takes it out.
Can we talk about Debit's topper right there? I mean, the Jacob cowboy hat on his Octane. He's definitely trying to bring out the Jacob vibes right here.
Yeehaw. I mean, yeah, it is definitely a little bit goofy. As Dr. Aquatic starting an attack there, nobody's going to get to it on Steel Army, and they're going to tie things up off of just sort of an overcommit from Steel Army here. Nobody really rotating back, and there we are.
A rare error from Steel Army, and Debit in particular gets punished by Dr. Aquatic, who is now back in the goals. As easy as that may be, that might give the Frontera boys some confidence going into this remainder of the game 2 right here. But once again, Steel Army just get back into it.
Absolutely. Just a little bit of sloppiness from Steel Army is exactly what you want to see to give you a little bit of confidence, and because they'll make the same mistakes as you, then you can beat them. 1 minute to go. It's looking pretty even in this game, considering, I mean, the score, obviously, but we've seen a little bit of brilliance from both sides here. This has been a much closer and, honestly, better game than game 1!
Raisin Boy does just enough to get that out of the net. I thought that was going to creep in, but the ball just didn't roll fast enough. And now, Steel Army are on the back foot as we are in the final minute. 2-2 between both sides. Bear Blitz gets demoed. Open net potentially. No, Raisin Boy is back there. And Bear Blitz spawns at the right place to set himself up defensively.
It was a good demo, but nobody forward there. That's a nice cross. Nice clearance.
That big booming clearance gives Steel Army a chance to potentially get a game winner. Good beat there. And now Dr. Aquatic clears it away. Raisin Boy flicks it high up. Loose ball. Debit gets the time to set up. Divine Waffle reads it. Raisin Boy gets just enough off of his boost tank to clear that out. And Bear Blitz clears it to the orange half. But now K-Double Boy to the other end. Are you going to get a winner? Raisin Boy saves. Divine Waffle misses. And we are somehow in overtime.
That's cinema right there. I mean, jeez. The amount of attempts or the amount of opportunities they have there with the bell or the clock all the way down, and we're headed to overtime in an insanely close game.
Oh my goodness. I do apologize for the mic peaks chat. Tank Pillow, thanks for mentioning that. I've been getting so excited. I would not be surprised if my mic has peaked like 6 or 7 times. But for right now, Frontera Azul possibly peaking at the right time as well. Steel Army waning. Unfortunately for them, big 50 by Aquatic clears out. And Divine Waffle keeps the pressure up. KJ does not get the touch, but he's going to 50 that off of Devin, who wins that challenge. Razor Boy clears it out.
Somebody who works in school, do not say those two numbers in rapid succession. But yes, there's been some nail biters here from both teams, honestly, even in just overtime. We're seeing the best of both of these teams.
And can I say the rotations have been so much better, but that mistake at the back from Aquatic results in a game winner for Raisin Boy, who noticed the trouble that Aquatic was dealing with, cuts in, gets the touch into the back of the empty net, and we were so close to seeing another potential upset, but Steel Army are now on match point.
Indeed, and I would really be looking for Azul to get one back here. They've been so close. I mean, that overtime really felt like they had the momentum.
Oh my goodness, this has been an absolutely wild night, Andrea. Sure, Steel Army are up 2-0 in this matchup, but it was nowhere near like a dominant performance from them. I mean, you know, you can see from the scoreboard right here, Divine Waffle and Aquatic having absolutely massive games. Debit struggling to really get himself going. Bear Blitz also kind of off color. And I would not be surprised if we get to see another substitution from the Steel Army boys.
Indeed. And I mean, it really looks like we I think we will see that. It looks like Red 4 is in the lobby right now.
That is right. And with Red 4 entering the lobby, it is a trio of brothers in Steel Army facing off against Frontera SD Azul in this game 3. Will the brothers give Steel Army a sweep and see them go to the top of the table? Or will Frontera Azul spoil the party? Here we go.
And here's to hoping to some spoiling so that we can get a little bit more Rocket League tonight before we go to bed. As Steel Army starting off where they left off in that overtime, putting the pressure on.
Yeah, Dr. Aquatic does just enough to get that out, but Frontera are starting off on the back foot right here. They got to make sure they manage their boost pretty well. Although that outlet might work out for them, but Divine Waffle was just starting to get back. Still a second chance though. Aquatic is right there. What a finish! And Dr. Aquatic gives Frontera Azul the lead in Game 3.
And it's stuff like that that has kept this game so close. What a wonderful shot off of the side. Just threw so high in the air. Just beautiful.
Crazy to see how much the top two have struggled tonight against third and fourth respectively. But we have been talking about this for so long. The championship is not just a two-horse race. It is absolutely a league where other teams can step up and get the big results and keep themselves in the title race. Right now, Frontera Azul are doing all they can to get themselves back into title contention.
We're watching a 2-on-2 right now with a Rule 1 down there. So this is going to be some interesting action down here in game... Oh, it looks like the Rule 1 is... No, the Rule 1's still there. As Devitt is going to break it up with just an open net. That's what happens in 2v2s. You have a little bit less defense. And there we go.
Ooh, that hurts. That hurts. A feels backflip man moment from Dr. Aquatic. Devitt had the open net at his mercy, taps it in, and it's 1-1 already. But might we see Dr. Aquatic get a second? No, he cannot. But Steel Army just need a little bit of an opening, and they'll blow you wide open. Pause. but that's all it takes for them to go to the next level.
Yeah, and I mean, it was everything you need from FSD Azul, and then just real quick, it just gets beyond them. And if you compare the two goals that have scored, I mean, FSD Azul's goal that's a clip, and they just leave the net open. It's just a sloppy mistake from them on Steel Army's goal, but it's 1-1 all the same.
Oh no. Ooh, a bit of an awkward moment, but KJ does just enough, keeps its composure to bounce that just away from the back of the net. A little bit of a scary moment, but could see that level of composure from the Frontera Azul players.
I think that's what feels so weird about this game being 2-0 is that, I mean, from FSD Azul, we've seen those moments of absolute brilliance, some of the really beautiful goals scored tonight. Divine Waffle trying to go for another one, and it just hasn't all come together for them.
I think they're kind of overextending themselves as well. I mean, you know, no surprises there. This is a really good team in Steel Army, and you just saw, you know, EC Defiance get a big upsetting win over the Rebellion. And Dr. Aquatic and Core doing a great job of keeping this pressure up. Loose ball! Dr. Aquatic says, I'll finish this off myself. Divine Waffle getting that early cross in. Aquatic getting bumped but not demoed, and all he had to do is tap it into the back of the net, and Frontera Azul are back in the lead. They're up 2-1.
Indeed, and they have taken it back. They are doing better when things are going both ways in this game. They're doing better at the back and forth, not letting Steel Army get ahead. I feel like we had back and forth for a while with FS2 Azul down, and then they just sort of crumble at one point, but we only have 2 minutes left to go, which is a long time, but it does mean that this game has sort of settled into the way, like, its general way that it's going to go. Like, every game has a feeling.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
As Steel Army is now putting the pressure on here.
One thing I'd like to add on is no matter which lineup Steel Army's brought out, they have been quite sloppy overall. Not playing the cleanest game right here, surprising to say, but, you know, they're still in this game 3. They're already on match point, so it's not like they've been overly punished, but Frontera Azul are now keeping them on the back foot right here. Devin getting chased away, and that big miss means Bear Blitz has to take over. Nice first touch, but a double commit into the open, and Bear Blitz steers as the ball floats into the back of the net. Frontera Azul double their lead with less than a minute remaining.
Love a good predict. That is something wonderful to behold. And we are 3-1. Steel Army has 1 minute to tie this up, to score 2 goals to tie this up. And Red 4 almost starting off with one real early, but good defending from FSD Azul.
Tank Pillow in chat says Steel Army needs to cut their double commits. That's one part of it. The other part is they need to stop missing their hits. There are moments where, you know, personally, from my experience as a player, I want to get like a more precise hit, and I just can't get it. If that happens, you just got to simplify things and be like, okay, just get as much of the car onto the ball as possible. Just get that ball out of the way. It might be that which can help Steel Army get back into their mojo. Because right now, Frontera Azul are looking comfortable and on top of their game.
Indeed, and with 13 seconds left, it's not looking good for Steel Army to shut this down right now. Bear Blitz going with a shot, gonna make things possible. Keeping it alive here. We'll see in the next 6 seconds. He's just sort of ahead of everyone. Divine Waffle pops over his head, nothing he can do. And this is gonna be an interesting kickoff.
6 seconds is a long time. Here we go. Can Steel Army come back and take us to overtime? Or will Frontera Azul do just enough to take us to game 4? Right now the ball's up in the air and it's still up, but it finally goes out. Frontera Azul are on the board and the upset is still possible.
Game 4, do you think they take it to game 5?
I mean, it all depends. I can't call it. I really cannot call it. And I'm afraid to call it, Andrea. I don't want to curse anything. You know what I mean?
True. And I mean, it doesn't mean that there's gonna be some reverse sweep, because we saw in that last game, Rebellion gets that game 3, and you're thinking, okay, momentum's shifted their way, but then EC Defiance just completely swept them, or not swept, but completely dominated in that 4th game, so things could change on a swivel here.
Big time, big time. But the difference is, Frontera Azul don't necessarily have that 4th player who can come in and give them something different, so they have to stick with this trio. Steel Army, meanwhile, don't be surprised if they rotate. They love to rotate even when they're on the back foot. That's how they roll.
And I mean, maybe that gives them a different look that is something that you might want on the back foot. So we're going to see a different looking game. And I mean, from the perspective of Steel Army, who lost that can be a good thing.
I think everyone is in right now. We should be able to kick off very, very soon. Match 1 finished off in Game 4. En Parc de Paris. Will we see that right here? In Match 2 tonight between Steel Army and Frontera Azul. Here we go.
Doughboy, nice kickoff. Aquatic with a shot. Trying to start things off early. Nice defense, though, from Steel Army.
With a double crit right there, might be a problem, but KJ does just enough to get to that shot attempt. And now Aquatic keeps it up. Oh, this is perfectly placed for KJ, who cuts and tries to go for a second shot. Misses. And now Bear Blitz trying to back pass into Debit. Great first touch, but the pressure is already there for Frontera. They are up for this. They want to take us to Game 5.
Yeah, they smell blood, and that's also a nice shot from Aquatic. Just nobody in there to sort of finish off the rebound. And it's looking a little bit sloppier here from Steel Army. Debit misses a save right there.
Oh
and Doughboy is going to finish him!
KJ diving into the ball, kamikazing it, and finishing it off with an insane challenge. 64 miles per hour, 110 kilometers per hour, and Frontera Azul take the lead.
That's what you want. That's what you want when you have all the momentum. You got to keep that going. And FSD Azul with that is a nice challenge.
And a nice defensive effort right there. Sorry, go ahead.
Can't cross him up though, and so we're back to sort of ball in the middle. But yeah, a lot of pressure from Azul.
So, Andrea, what changed for Frontera in your eyes between the first 2 games and games 3 and 4?
I don't know. I just feel like sometimes there's like a shift in vibe. I mean, I don't mean to go all like Gen Z on you, but you know, it's a confidence thing. Just when you're playing Rocket League well, you're playing it well, and when you're playing it bad, it feels horrible. And Bear Blitz is gonna do something that maybe not make you feel horrible. I mean, you still have a chance at a reverse sweep here, but I mean, you were doing so well. It looked like your best game of the night, and then it's tied up again.
And that's when Steel Army are at their best, when they're that aggressive and they're committing that high up. Raisin centering it right in front of the net. Bear Blitz diving right into it. That's when Steel Army get themselves going, when they keep you pegged in front of your net. But right now, Dr. Aquatic gets it out of the way. KG just didn't have the boost to follow up. Divine Waffle comes up, gets it towards the net, not enough power, and Bear Blitz clears it out. But Dr. Aquatic intercepts yet again. Might there be a shot by KJ? He chooses to put it high up. Divine Waffle misses. KJ trying to follow up, and the ball finally goes out to the orange half.
That's good rotation from FSD Azul there. Aquatic back to stop something that if they were overcommitted would have been a goal. So maybe a little bit better on that for them too. That could be part of what shifted here.
Still a bit of awkwardness for Steel Army, like when the ball is just aloft, they're not necessarily getting that secure first touch, like Devin did just right there, carrying it towards the middle. But now, Steel Army need to get back and regroup themselves.
Yeah, they look a lot sloppier than we've seen them play. A little bit sloppy from FSD Azul, though. Don't get punished for it.
Oh my goodness, this is really awkward. And somehow Dr. Aquatic gets it out of the way. Just looking really nervy right there. They need something to go their way so they can get the lead back. But right now, Steel Army slowly just starting to grow into this game 4.
I mean, Steel Army is not punishing FSD Azul for some serious mistakes. They need to capitalize on stuff like that.
And another loose touch as well. But a loose touch in kind. And Divine Waffle does just enough with that challenge. KJ almost got that in, but barely misses the goal. And Raisin Boy carries it out.
Yeah, that's a tough one, but you know, hard shot to make. And Divine Waffle is putting in a really nice ball here. Aquatic not to it early enough.
What a save, Andrea! You don't get to see that too often when Steel Army start to go forward. But Steel Army had to crack back and get back. And they did just enough to keep it tied as we enter the final minute.
Both teams are playing really aggressive this game. We're seeing both teams just going for that insane attack, overcommitting a lot from both teams. Defensive end often empty in this game 4.
Oh, but Devitt does everything he can to bring it to the opposite end, and somehow the ball doesn't end up in the middle, despite a Steel Army player diving for it. Frontera get away with it.
You have to score that. That was the openest of open nets, and he's just a little in front of it. It's a quick reaction necessary, and in that moment, this time he doesn't really get it in, and FSU Azul got away with something crazy there! Nothing here! Nobody there! It's in front of the goal for so long! Divine Waffle! And we're going to overtime!
Oh my god, breathe! Breathe! Because we are in overtime and expect a lot more of this gilt-edged action as both teams search for the game winner right here. Will we see Steel Army go to the top of the table, or will we see Champions Field? See Champions Field! Divine Waffle in 17 seconds gets the game winner.
Oh my god, the reverse sweep may be on. Divine Waffle off of a really nice cross, and we're just headed to an absolute cinema game 5. Every game has been close. There has been no dominations in this one, and this is some good Rocket League.
Good? Oh my... I'm trying to gather myself back. I have nothing else to say. Really, I have nothing else to say but absolute cinema.
Absolutely.
Good lord.
I don't think either team has won any game by more than 1 goal.
That's how close it's been, Andrea. Oh my god, this is the best I've seen Frontera Azul play. We were waiting for this performance from them as well, and they've definitely turned up big time. And you know what? I personally have been lamenting the championship for so long this season, saying, oh, it's boring, oh, it's predictable. Chat and Andrea, the champ division is back. They have brought back the entertainment factor. We have seen 2 incredible matches to kick off week 8 tonight. Oh my god.
It looks like we're going to see another incredible match as we enter into Paris instead of Champions Field.
One sec, gotta make sure everything's good. Okay, I got a bit over my head. I forgot to change the lobby. Listen, it doesn't make sense if we go back to Paris like that. As much as I love Paris. But this has to go to the appropriate stadium. That's on me, my fault.
This is going to be a wonderful game. I am really looking forward to this last one.
Yeah, Andrea, lobby's back up, by the way.
Okay, am I supposed to leave and come back in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god. I should have known better. That's on me.
No, you're good. So we're going to Champions Field for Game 5. So excited.
Oh, we cannot wait. It has to be this way. Game 5, Champions Field. Second place versus fourth. A second upset in the cards. Here we go. Winner takes all.
And we're going to start off with another attack by FSD Azul. They are... Dr. Aquatic finishes off an attack that starts at the very beginning. And more sloppiness from Steel Army. This is all the momentum in FSD Azul's favor. This is not looking good for Steel Army. This is going to be an interesting game.
Oh my goodness, what a start for Frontera Azul! One would forgive them for feeling a bit annoyed that we had to switch an arena like that, but they are taking advantage of this! They are in the lead! We have a second upset on the cards, chat and Andrea.
Indeed we do, and it would be nice to go upset for upset. Dr. Aquatic taking that out, trying to start another attack. Divine Waffle might be able to do something here, but no, Bear Blitz is there first. And will we settle in, or will we just get banger after banger? Dr. Aquatic, another shot!
You know, it's not too often you see this, but Frontera Azul have shown way better rotations than Steel Army. And even in terms of individual mechanical skill set, Steel Army have just looked a bit too sloppy to execute their play style. They're trying to get the passing game going right now. They beat KJ! 1, 2, 3! Raisin Boy finishes it off, and it's one apiece.
Absolute bangers. 1 minute in, we have had 2 bangers, and this is looking to be a wonderful match. I cannot wait.
Oh my god. What a wild night it has been already. And I'm so glad to be here for it. Uh-oh, Devin looking awkward. KJ going for the second challenge. Aquatic trying to do it on his own. But Divine Waffle commits. Open net. Devin. Oh my goodness, he misses. How does Frontera get away with that?
And I mean, yeah, how do they get away with it? But also Aquatic pacing back or Doughboy pacing back as quick as he can, doing everything he can. It's all in from every player here.
And Steel Army still can't get it into the back of the net. Devin off of the crossbar this time. Might this be Frontera Azul's night? Might this be the night of the underdogs?
And this game is so tension. I don't know if we ever do settle in. Doughboy off of just a little bit of a too slow clearance here from Raisin Boy. He just sort of scrapes it instead of getting good contact. And I mean, Doughboy's right there.
KJ diving in yet again, forcing it into the back of the net, punishing Raisin Boy for his error. And Frontera Azul are back in the lead, 2-1.
This has been bangers only. This is maximum tension. I don't think we really settle in this game. I think we're going to be on the edge of our seats.
If that is us, what about these players right now? Steel Army keeping it in the orange half. Bear Blitz has a chance to center it, but Dr. Aquatic with a great intervention. And Divine Waffle beats his opponent as well. And the ball gets cleared out. Not for long, though. Devin going for a second. Great positioning from Aquatic to deny Devin.
And a nice pinch off of the wall. They're just doing really good rotation here, like we were saying earlier. It just looks way more solid from them in these last 2 games.
And you know what's even better? When they do get a miss, they commit to their rotation. They don't suddenly just get awkward and try to cut to get back to the ball. That's what's made this Frontera Azul side play so much better. They don't let the whiffs haunt them. And right now, Divine Waffle going for the third. What a save from Bear. There might not have been enough power, but Bear still had to do a lot to get that ball out. And it's still 2-1 to Frontera Azul.
I'm honestly sitting here thinking, how did they not score there? I mean, it's just a wonderful hit off the wall, and I guess there's people in really good position from Steel Army, and we're just seeing the best of both teams! As Devin wonderfully plays shot at the right end of the crossbar to put that right in. This is a wonderful, wonderful night of SGL.
And that is textbook Steel Army, Chad and Andrea. Big 50, relentless pressure, a pass into the middle, third man rushing up to get the final finish. Frontera and Azul are now starting to see the beast awaken in Steel Army, and it's almost through the lead, and they get it finally. Big Blitz delivers off of a Devitt pass. Steel Army are up 3-2.
And this is the first time since game 2 that momentum has really looked in Steel Army's favor. And you sort of need to regroup here with 1 minute and 30 seconds left from FSD Azul. They need to do something. They have time, but not unlimited time.
Uh-oh, the net is open! KJ might even be able to finish this off! He does! And Steel Army are punished for their mistakes at the back yet again! Bear Blitz trying to dive for the ball, but beaten! And KJ brings his team back into it! It's 3-all with 70 seconds remaining! And Andrea, this is absolute cinema!
Absolutely. This is Rocket League at its finest. 1 minute to go. Tied up on games and on points. We are in a great spot here. FSD Azul doing everything they've needed to do tonight. We didn't ever think it was going to be a sweep, and they didn't come in thinking they were just going to destroy them, but Steel Army has made some mistakes. They've capitalized. They've had some amazing moments, amazing clips, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them come away with this one after a goal like that.
30 seconds remaining. 3-all. This can still go either way. Frontera are having to deal with some pressure, though. They're having to sit back and just absorb this relentlessness from the Pittsburgh boys. But they do just enough to get it out. And KJ kickstarts a counter. 50 towards the middle. Bear Blitz gets it out to David. Shot on net. Aquatic at the right place at the right time yet again with a huge save. And we are going to overtime.
Would you ever have seen it ending any other way after our first 4 games? Doughboy gonna try to start an attack there. Aquatic not able to get past a 50, and it's an attack for Steel Army. Raisin Boy ending this for Steel Army.
11 seconds in. Raisin Boy rushes forward. Booms it into the back of the net. Steel Army were so close to being upset, but they do just enough to win this match and go to the top of the championship league.
What a match. I mean, could you have scripted it better?
Oh my God, I need to catch a freaking breath right there. That was wild. Oh, man. I mean, Frontera Azul, give them massive credit for that. That was an insane performance from that team. You know, they would have deserved to come out with 4 points right here, but they don't. Steel Army still do just enough to get their 4 points. And as I mentioned earlier, they're now at the top of the table.
Absolutely, and against any other team, I don't know. A performance like that, I could have seen them beating Rebellion tonight if they were fated to play Rebellion. But they're up against Steel Army, and Steel Army just had a night.
What a night this has been. Oh my goodness, Andrea. A huge upset that blew the league wide open. EC Defiance are back in the title race. Steel Army getting a huge victory to go to the top. I mean, this is just... You know, let's give credit to the championship division. It's not as boring and predictable as you think. This has been an absolutely entertaining night of Rocket League, and this is coming from our second division. Not from the Premier, from our second division. So these guys are capable of playing, and playing proper Rocket League as well.
I wouldn't be surprised if you could say that this would be the best night we'll have all week. I mean, this has been... Both games have just been incredibly close, and you had subversion of expectations with EC Defiance taking it against Rebellion, and everything's shaken up in Championship now.
Yeah, I think now will be a perfect time to show off that league table real quick whilst we wait for the interviews. And with that said and done, Steel Army, with the same exact 6-1 record as the Rebellion, are at the top by just a point. They now control their destiny. Rebellion pegged back, one loss, and now they're down to second. It's crazy to say this. One loss and they're down to second. It's absolutely insane. And EC Defiant are the biggest winners of the night, I'd say, alongside Steel Army. They are now in this title race themselves.
Absolutely. And I would love to see the next time they get to play Steel Army as well. I think that they are going to have a wonderful run coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Might this be the start for Defiance to put some pressure on the top two? And let's not forget about Frontera Azul as well.
And I think maybe a little bit for EC Eternal, my team, to think, oh, well, FSD Azul, if we can, because we've had a close series with them, if we can do a little bit better against them, maybe we also climb up. So there's a lot more movement that feels possible now for pretty much every team. Wonderful night. Who do we have for interviews tonight?
So we have a couple lined up where I'm just making sure that we have a potential third, but for now we do have 2 confirmed.
All right. But who do we have for matches after this?
Yeah, good question. Let's go into the schedule for the rest of the week. After this, we have, I mean, none of the matches have been scheduled as of yet, but Axe and Rose versus Los Verdes. You know, Axe and Rose are on a high. They could potentially get their second win right there. And in the premiere, a full slate of great Rocket League action. EM Dallas Bird versus Sounders RC. They delivered a Game 5 reverse sweep. Insane series themselves. First versus third. Timbers Army and La Cinco Doce. EM versus Frontera Chrome. And then ECRC versus Casey Calder, which always delivers no matter how good or bad those two teams are.
Absolutely. And all to play in Premiere, and just already this early earth-shattering things in the championship. So, yeah.
All right. We do have our first interview ready, Andrea. So let's welcome on in Bear Blitz of Steel Army. Bear Blitz, that was an insane scare for your team, but you guys do just enough. And you guys are now at the top of the table too. How huge was this result for your team?
Definitely a good result. I mean, overall, the night was fantastic. I mean, great series ahead of us. And listen, this was, we knew this was going to be a tough series. We knew we had to plan for KJ's demos, and Aquatic just I mean, he's lights out. You put him in front of the net, he gets a free shot. It's going in. So we knew it was going to happen, and we planned for it, and it's sometimes you just can't stop it. It is what it is. But it was a heck of a series.
It was a wonderful match. I mean, Game 5, it almost feels like there's some momentum shift from the last 2 games, and you guys sort of pull it through in really, like, just wonderful fashion. But is there a fear there? I'm just like, oh god, we're gonna lose, or is it just like, because you recover real quick, just 11 seconds?
No, I don't think it was necessarily a fear, but we definitely knew that we had to lock in, get a little bit tighter, increase the communications a little bit as well, especially when we had demos, you know, maybe cut rotation, something like that. I know we got caught in a couple of double commits that we probably shouldn't have gotten into, but regardless, you know, I knew in Game 5, none of us were at that point where necessarily the nerves kicked in. It was just we got to get back to our game.
So
yeah, it did. Oh
no, go ahead.
It did feel like there was a little bit of sloppiness from you guys. Do you think that just comes from sort of the pressure that FSD Azul did such a good job of putting you guys under?
Yeah, I think nonetheless, like I said, KJ's always flying around for demos, but the rest of the team kind of came in too. I know at one point, I can't remember if it was after game 3 or game 4. I said, watch out in the midfield, because if you're hanging as third man and they have somebody close, they're coming for you. So I think there was quite a bit of pressure that was put on that third man, which made it a little bit more difficult and put some additional pressure on the front two to keep it in play and keep it in the offensive third. But ultimately, I think you saw in game 5 some of the passing, a little tic-tac-toe that came out, and I knew we were, after that first tic-tac-toe goal, I knew there was no way we could lose that game 5. We were hitting a little bit on the chemistry.
So, Bear, I'm just curious. You guys struggled to really get going with your own game until like those last few moments of game 5. Is it safe to say that Frontera got into your heads with their aggressive playstyle?
I mean, we were planning for it, so clearly they were in our heads from that point. We had to plan for it, and we had to expect it. And I think sometimes maybe we got a little bit relaxed when we were pressuring in the offensive zone, and which led to, a demo or a bump that threw us out of position. And from there, it just kind of domino effects the entire play. And that's really something that I think they're really good at, is putting on that pressure, especially when it comes to the physical play, that any team has to be aware of.
For sure. And one last question on my end. With that win, you guys go back to the top of the table. I guess you guys were looking forward to a moment like this where you guys would take control of your destiny. With that said, with the results that you've seen and the gameplay that you see for Frontera Azul, how do you guys view the championship as a division overall? Like, do you guys view it as being at a much higher level than some people may make it seem?
Yeah, there's ultimately great matchups every week. I know we don't typically, some weeks ends up in some sweeps, which, it happens, but there's always cinema when it comes to the championship. And I think that's what makes it, honestly, the better half of the league. I'll go ahead and call it out. More exciting gameplay, more unknown, more from week to week. If you're a gambler, it's going to be a little bit tougher to predict. But matches like these tonight, both matches, I think, makes it incredibly exciting and worthwhile to watch. And we're looking forward to our next match against the Rebellion when that comes up. We'll do our best not to look forward too much to that and downplay any opponents. But I know all of us are itching to get back at the Rebellion.
For sure. I mean, that's going to be one match to look forward to as we progress throughout the season. Bear Blitz, that about does it for the interview. Thank you very much. Go ahead, the floor is yours. Say whatever you need to say.
Well, thank you guys for running this, commentating, and running the stream. Everything is always spot on, perfect. It's a great production effort. I will say in game, I think it was game 5, or right before game 5, Debit called me out that I was Eric Dick. Unfortunately, he's no longer with the Hounds, but I think that gave a little bit of extra motivation to make a couple saves in game 5. So shout out Debit for calling that out. Shout out Raisin. Shout out Red, and shout out our potential new teammate in the window, Fly Penguin.
Well said, Bear. Well said. And thank you very much for this interview. Enjoy that win. Have a good night. Catch you next time.
Thank you all.
It's good to hear that bit of honesty about, the fact that they knew they were in trouble. And it's good to acknowledge that.
I mean, it's the truth. They were.
Yeah.
we had a wonderful game from FSD Azul. They looked the better side for portions of that match, and they just couldn't get it done in the end. And that's something that is important for a team to do. So Steel Army, I think, rightfully walks away with this, but FSD Azul was very good tonight, and I think against a lot of other opposition, they're gonna finish that off.
Oh yeah, and you know what? It's now a great time to hear the thoughts of the Divine Waffle. You guys got so close, Waffle. I thought you guys were gonna get the win too, but Steel Army just pulled it out of the bag. But how do you feel about the performance from your team tonight?
I mean, after getting swept the first time, way better. Way better. No, we've grown a lot more. I think over the past handful of weeks, like we're used to each other a bit better. So not near as discombobulated. So I think that was that went a lot better than the previous time. So that shows good growth. So I did pick the worst time to have my worst game of the series. Luckily, Aquatic and Doughboy were trying to carry me.
Sorry about that, but yeah, I think you guys played really good. I think you had some really close games, first two games as well. I think. Oh God, what was I gonna say? Do you want to go, Mass?
Mind if I just jump in with a question?
Absolutely.
So, Waffle, so one thing I really liked is how you guys were rotating and not really getting thrown off by any misses of the ball in any which way. Was this something you guys practiced in preparation for this match?
I wouldn't say practice. We definitely went in wanting to be like a lot more aggressive, leave like less space for them to just get on the ball, because you know they can team play extremely well. So so you know we kind of just play off that. Like if you miss, just somebody else dive in. That way, there's not that period of just like, you know, where they have the advantage because we're a little like confused and nobody's going for it.
Yeah, you guys were playing really good on the counter. You played some really good defense, and Steel Army really got caught out a little bit. Were you guys sort of looking at that and sort of taking advantage, realizing that that's something that maybe we need to factor in and just sort of sit back a little bit more?
Not completely. No, I mean I think I actually we were kind of the opposite. We wanted to be a little more aggressive. But you know, the way they played too, it's like I think we respected a little bit of their ability to get off the wall and start getting like counters going. So we did really good at picking the spots of when to like drop back and play off their hit, and when we had a chance to come in for a 50 or just get in the way and make a bad pass instead of a free shot.
Now, Waffle, one thing I'm curious about here is, you know, you guys were so close to winning, but you only come out with 2 points instead of 4. Was there a moment where you guys were like kind of disheartened that you couldn't come out with all 4 points?
Maybe. I mean, anytime you lose in overtime, it's rough. But overall, no, I think we played well. Yeah, a little disheartened that you don't get the full win, but especially going down 2-0, clawing back and making it a 5-game series instead. There's a lot more to like than dislike in that series, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and after such a close series like that against Steel Army, I just have to ask, like, are you guys excited to play a team like Rebellion? I think next week you guys play them in Cup, which is going to be a really fun watch.
I am. They absolutely caught me off guard in the first game. I was not ready for their speed of play at all. So I got overwhelmed. So I'm excited to play it again, and with a little bit more information and see what we can figure out to slow them down a little bit.
One final question. Would you guys say that you can bring yourselves back into the title race, or would you be happier to just be hovering around third and try to aim for like a third place finish at the end of the season?
I'm gonna give the full Bill Belichick answer, and I really am just focused on the next week and the week after that.
Hey, fair.
Because
Absolutely fair.
even so, yeah, you can't win the title if you don't win the weeks in front of you. So.
Oh, absolutely. Totally reasonable. You good, Adria, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that does it for the interview, Waffle. Thank you very much for being here with us. The floor is yours. Go ahead. Say whatever you want to say.
I don't know. I don't talk much.
You have any shout-outs?
That was a good game. Shout outs to both Doughboy, Aquatic, Kima for being there. He was our cheerleader from the sidelines today. And then shout out to Steel Army. That was fun. We were throwing haymakers at each other with demos. It was a good time. Even a losing series is fun as hell.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I love about Rocket League. Even, especially when there's like not too much at stake. Like if you're losing, well, you know what? At least you had a good time losing, you know?
Exactly.
Well, thank you very much for the interview, Waffle. GG's. Have a good night. We will catch you next time.
Have a good one.